Hey, everybody, welcome to an all new episode of the Geek Table Talk. It is I, Anthony Sterling, and joining me, as always, are my buddies and geeks in arms. I guess we better start with the introductions. I don't know where my brain is going. I'm getting old. I'm old. I'm so old. But y'all know who
Where's
they
my
are. But
walker?
where's my walker and my social security checks? But ladies and gentlemen, y'all know who they are, but they still need an introduction nonetheless. Joining me as always is Mr. Christopher McNabb and Mr. David Welty. How's it going, fellas?
Good.
It's going. We're doing it.
Yeah, we're here. Well, we're here again, finally.
Again.
This is sort of the redo because the original went to shit, bad audio, and I didn't want to post it. So why make y'all go through pains of hearing horrible audio when perfect audio should be a gift as well as a right? So we are redoing this episode, I guess, a month or two.
Yeah, it happened on Groundhog Day last time.
Yeah. Oh, dude. Yeah. But we're doing it again.
Yeah.
Don't drive angry. Don't host angry. But hopefully, when I put this together, the audio will be crisp and clean with no caffeine. Shout out to Sprite. I think that was Sprite's commercial. Crisp and clean with no caffeine. Sprite.
Obey your thirst.
We're not being paid by them, but you know what? Nothing wrong with a little bit of free advertisement. But ladies and gentlemen, this is a brand new episode 24. And as usual, make sure you hit that red subscribe button. It will only take you a second. Blue thumbs up. Blue thumbs are always cool, and it helps with the algorithm. Keep in mind, every time you give us a blue thumbs up and you come back onto YouTube, new episodes of this show will be there right in front of you just to click. And make sure you hit that bell and turn your notifications to all so you'll be notified when a new episode comes on so you could watch it with your friends and family around the fire, singing songs. I don't know what else you could be doing while you watch this. But let's go ahead and get into it. Oh, huge shout out before I get into the comments. Big shout out to Humble Enterprises for another great Louisiana Comic Con. It happened. Well, it's actually happening while we're recording, but I went yesterday, which is currently happening as we record. I went yesterday, had a blast. I don't go, it's kind of weird. I go to conventions, but I rarely go for the panels. I go to shop. To be brutally honest, I go to shop. And shop I did. I didn't buy much, but there was Last Ronin Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles action figure I wanted badly, really badly. But at the same time, it was $45 and I'm on a budget. I am a broke blurred. So I had to step back and I found it on Amazon for 32. So to the seller, I'm sorry. I would have bought some books, but you didn't have the book I wanted, and I'm still hunting for it. It's Adam, Legend of the Blue Marvel, but I will get it. I will get it, and I have their card, so I'll order from them one day soon. But I do want to show you this little kick-ass. Hopefully, y'all guys can see it. Shout out to Mr. Cody Chamberlain, artist and writer extraordinaire here in Lafayette. This was an original piece he did for his coffee. I think it's called Coffee and Doodles, I believe, little group that he does where him and some other artists will get together, have a little coffee, draw, all kind of crazy stuff. This was one of the things he did. It's an original piece. I really appreciate it. Love it. He signed it. Thumbs up. Got a chance to meet with Rob Guillory. Has a brand new book I will talk about later in the show. Awesome dude. I'm gonna try and commission him to work on some stuff for my job, and hopefully my job will want to pay them because they are great artists and they deserve the dollars. All right, whew, enough of that. But anyway, let's get into these viewer comments. Let's see. We only got two this time. So thanks to them for it. The first one comes from 76 Legend. He said, "Great upload. Thank you." You was talking about episode 23, which was fun. I don't care if it's
Back
a
in
tome.
1972, that was
Back in my day,
the last episode.
You put an episode on in the year of our Lord 2022.
I remember
that was
when you all uploaded consistently.
Hey, life happens, sir. But no, he gave us a shout out. Great upload, and we really appreciate it. 76 Legend, we love you for it. But as usual, it's never a Geek Table Talk if we don't hear from the big chief no namer himself, the god of comments, the 16 time, maybe 17, might be infinitely time champion. Eclectic Blurred has graced us from on high with with the greatest of comments, and we might as well get into it because, as I said before, this is a redo from an episode re-recorded back in late January, early February. So yeah, we are way behind, but damn it, we're on time regardless. So this is how Blurred starts it off. Hey y'all, Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. Yeah, that just happened, guys.
Sure.
Throw in Mardi Gras.
I remember.
Throw in Mardi Gras as well. It just happened. Glad to see a new episode on YouTube. Yeah, it's a lot of comments. So without further ado, let's get into it. Number one, I like the let's get into it because of a scene from Purgatory movie from 1999. I need to find that movie. I really got to find that. Number two, as far as Discovery Plus, I like Ghost Brothers, excuse me. Can't confuse the two. One says Bustin' makes me feel good. The other one is some brothers, some actual brothers. I guess they're related, but they're also black. They do paranormal investigation. I have yet to watch an episode, but I hear good things about it. So I'm definitely going to have to check it out. Number three, I actually like phase 4 of the MCU, self-contained movies. We weren't this much into how it ties in phase 1 as far as dissecting every movie for its for its tie-in into the larger story. We enjoyed the movies for what they were. People got spoiled towards the end of phase 2. That is true. We did get spoiled.
Phase 1 didn't have TV shows linking them either. So it's
true.
Kind of
that is true. Phase 2 kicked in with a TV show, which was Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., which was loosely connected to the MCU. And then it went on its own trajectory. And you know what? I was happy for it because that show was really great. 7 seasons, kick ass. Number 4, my daughter asking why no one considered one of them Sonic games for Game of the Year. You need to get with Jeff Keighley. That's his fault. That is Jeff's fault. There's nothing I can say about that. Jeff, it's your fault. Get your shit together. Number 5.
More Sonic. Gotta go fast.
Number 5. I hope y'all have a better overall game release year in 2023. Oh, we're going to talk about that later in the show. I think
Big tears for Big Chris.
Yeah, huge tears. I think he's about to give up his pass to Xbox Island. I just have that feeling.
Oh no. Never.
Phil, Chris has words for you. But I think 2023 is pretty much on a good start. I think it's on a good start, and I think it's going to end strong as well. We'll talk about that later in the show. Number 6, a little off topic, but I'm intrigued by the new direction the DCEU may possibly be going. Blurred, you may be alone in that intrigue and excitement because them Snyder children are foaming at the mouth. They are ready for blood. They are ready to take somebody into the town square, James Gunn, and do some things to them. But I keep my fingers crossed. I want both the MCU and DCEU to strive and be successful.
Say they're gunning for him.
Oh, good one. Good
Oh
Lord.
my God! Cue the air horns. Cue the drum set.
You got it. It's real. It's real. It's real.
Someone shoot me for that joke. Anyway,
No. We will not shoot you. We will look at you side eye, but we will not shoot you. Number 7, what am I reading? Absolutely nothing right now. Chris and Jason would be happy about that. Literacy.
Welcome to the
it's
family.
For suckers. Number 8, didn't get a Switch for myself, so not playing anything, but my daughter is playing hers. You know what? It's okay. Unlike PlayStation 5s, Switches are readily available anywhere Switches are sold. But I need to change that because now I believe the PlayStation 5 is readily available as well. Way to go, Sony. When you're not bitching about somebody buying Activision, you're actually doing your job and putting systems out for people to buy. Good job, kids. Number 9. What am I watching? If you follow me on Twitter, everything Christmas, once again, this was sent back in December. But knowing Blurred, still watching Christmas movies. It's Christmas.
Yeah, he wasn't finished
round.
just yet. He's moved on to all the Lifetime movies, the Hallmark Channel. You know,
there's a lot of Christmas movies.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's
Hallmark every year. They got new ones, so he's moved on to those now.
Regardless
Finish
of
the
channel
classics. Got there.
Exactly. Regardless of channel or streaming service, he is hunting for Christmas movies. In the new year, which is now, we shall see. Might have to get back into that anime journey. Please get back into that anime journey because there is a show that came back that I did not know was coming back, and I was not expecting for the drama that popped off with it. And boy, did it pop off. Number 10, wow. 10 comments from the commenting no namer. Y'all be good. Wishing y'all success and growth in 2023. Blurred, thank you so much. I appreciate
my liege, thank you.
Yes, my lord. We thank you for that. I just wish we have great audio constantly so we can, post consistently. But it's not the guy's fault. It's mine. I should do better. Maya Angelou said, if I know better, I do better. So there are kids screaming if you hear that. They're fighting over some shit I don't care about.
They're just excited. Yeah, the show's back. Finally, yeah.
Wait to make his big entrance.
There you go. Oh, he ain't making a big entrance. That door is locked. I already told him, don't even think about knocking. We'll fight. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you want to leave us a comment, please, right below, hit that comment section. Leave us a comment and we'll read it in a future episode of Geek Table Talk. And to 76 Legend and the Champion of Champions, Eclectic Blurred, we thank you, as always, for your comments. You are the chief no-namer. We love you for it. All right. With that being said, we are moving right into the meat and potatoes of this here show, and that is the Geek Table Talk, bringing you the news that you can use and the convos that won't bring you the blues, except if you work at Microsoft or you're an Xbox fan. We do have a sad story. Chris will be foaming at the mouth in a little bit. But do want to talk about, speaking of Xbox, I want to talk real quick about that developers direct that they did, which I thought was pretty cool. They shadow dropped a really great game that has a lot of people extremely happy, or if you're a Sony fan, extremely pissed off. And that was Hi-Fi Rush if you haven't been paying attention. But I thought the developer direct, I thought it was strong. I really enjoyed it. Some great games they talked about. While I'm not a Minecraft craft fan, I had fun. I really like what is it? Dungeons? Is it Dungeons?
Yeah, say Minecraft Legends. I said Legends looks fun,
Yeah. Looks like it's gonna be a great game. Should be coming out anytime soon, right? I think it's in
if I'm not mistaken, April, kind of mid-ish April.
Yeah. Okay. And it's on all systems, I believe, coming for the Switch and the PlayStation, as well as PC and, as usual, Xbox, and will be a day one on Game Pass, because Microsoft cares about its consumers, and its ecosystem. So you get that day one release for a big game. What are the games they spoke about? We knew about Hi-Fi
Well,
Rush, which was a shadow drop.
Yeah, Hi-Fi Rush, Shadow Drop. They had
Yep.
Redfall kind of launching in
Redfall.
May, and a bunch of gameplay from that. Looking
Yeah.
good, you know. We just realized Redfall. You know, obviously day one Game Pass, but
Uh-huh.
you know, every storefront that it drops on, whether it be Steam, I think even like Epic Games or whoever else,
Yeah.
you know, doesn't matter. They're all cross-play, cross-compatible, whatever. So day
Nice.
one, everyone will be able to, no matter
To
what you're
play.
on, play together. So
Wow.
that's
Okay.
always beautiful.
Look, once again, look at Xbox caring about that gaming ecosystem. You can do crossplay if you're on Steam, Xbox, Game Pass, or Epic
Game Pass PC, whatever, you know.
PC. Come on, y'all. Why
Which is
y'all so
good
bad?
because you know that game's
Yeah,
meant to be played together. So yeah,
right.
So we
very
can also
glad that they got it. You know,
Okay,
all good.
I am
Then, like
super
Chris
happy
said, you know,
about that.
Forza. Look, I'm not a big racing guy, but Forza keeps
Mhm.
getting more and more and more beautiful with every iteration.
Dude,
Like the
it's
cars are
sickening.
insane, the tracks, graphics, everything are insane.
the mud like
It's a good
spreading in the
series.
car. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it is nuts.
especially like even the damage. Even
Yeah,
on the
it is
damage on the
just
car is very precise.
insane. The detail.
And they say how the environments and the weather is truly gonna affect the way you
Yep.
race. There's gonna be fuel management now. It's not arcadey. You really have to play, you have to play smart because it's a true simulation.
And I
I
think
also
now
saw.
too. Not to cut you off, but there's
Oh
like I
no, go
think
ahead.
500 or so different cars now too. So yeah,
Yeah,
people that car enthusiasts, you got your cars, you know.
yeah.
So
And I saw that if you play like in rainy weather as well as kind of like muddy terrain, the mud affects the way the car handles as well as like gunking up the inner works of the intakes and all of that, to where you could be hitting 100 mile per hour and then all of a sudden you just start seeing your speed decrease because of all the mud that the car is taking on.
So
It's pretty
hydroplane.
yeah,
sweet. Yeah, the hydroplane. You could be drift. You can do drift. Hey, for the drifters, you can go insane and drift. That's back.
whoa,
The only thing now, that a lot of gamers are a little upset with Microsoft with as of right now, there's no release date.
Hey,
There's still
that's good.
2023. That's good. But every other game that they promoted throughout that developers direct had a definitive release date, except for Hi-Fi Rush. Because Hi-Fi
Definitive.
Rush was just like
I know another game that had
today.
definitive release date.
Oh yeah. That's
yeah,
the next one.
we're getting to
But
that.
let's talk about the happiness right now. Then we'll get in and start punching Phil in the gut. Um, but Hi-Fi Rush was the crown jewel of this thing. I know it was supposed to be Forza, but the fact that Hi-Fi Rush came out the same day as the developers direct and turned out to be a fun game, a great game, mind you, because I finally finished it. I love it. I want another one. I want a sequel. I really do. And I hope Microsoft looks at that game and say, hey, we may have a mascot in this with 808, because we all know gamers love cats, especially girl gamers. Lady gamers love cats. I think they could take Chai and the gang, especially with 808, and make that one of their main mascots now. We know the box is the box of the chief, but the chief needs a companion, not
Oh,
just
now
Cortana.
Starfield
Well, Starfield, well, we'll see.
on the
Let's just
box.
go ahead and segue.
Well, wait, so
Let's just
I was gonna
segue.
say the Forsaken. Is it the Forsaken and the no the Forspoken in the Hi-Fi Rush
Forspoken.
comparisons? Yeah,
Oh yeah,
they kind of
it's
dropped at the
it's
same
harsh.
time. Yeah,
Yeah, because Forspoken I think dropped what, a couple of days before
right.
um than Hi-Fi Rush. And the whole thing was, oh, this game is made for the PS5, and it turned out to be fairly drab. The concepts were strong. I like that because I played the demo and I said, you know what? I'm gonna get the game. Somewhere down the line, I'm gonna buy that game. Not for $70. Not for $70. I'm sorry. But it is a drab sort of I guess it's the color palette of the world, and the enemies aren't as diverse as you would want it to be. But the big boss battles are really, really cool. The parkour system is nice. The magic system is cool. Combat is really cool. But it's lacking something. And I don't know. And this is
It just
Square
didn't
Enix,
sell
right?
either. Nobody, yeah,
Yeah,
nobody
it
jumped
didn't
on it.
sell
It failed
the way
bad.
they wanted to. Maybe it should have came out in October last year and just, kind of die in the weeds. But the fact that y'all pushed it to January and then made it a big focal point game for the PS5 just didn't work, and that's hurting Square right now because Square has to get it together. That's not good for them. So we'll see. We'll see where that goes. I'm really, really hoping
One
something good
more
comes from it.
piece of good news until we get to the sadness for our boy
Yeah.
here. Capcom recently did a little, I guess you could say, event or direct type
Mhm.
thing, and the new game Exoprimal will be day one Game Pass as well. So there you
Really?
go, our
Okay.
third person Dino Crisis esque shooter deal.
Yeah, man. And when I saw that trailer, I really thought that was Dino Crisis was coming back.
They're bringing it back. Nah,
I was like, oh my goodness, yes. And
And
even before that,
still
there
looks
was a
very cool though.
yeah, because there was a scene in it. I thought it was Lost Planet. I was like, wait a minute, is Capcom bringing back Lost Planet? Ooh, now I'm ready for some gaming.
and
But
not. Oh,
uh-huh.
sorry. Go ahead.
Oh no, go ahead, go ahead.
I say I don't want to feel sorry for. I kind of feel sorry for the PlayStation people because they got Forspoken,
Yeah,
right? And then
yeah,
meanwhile, like on Game Pass, man, like the day one's been amazing. Like Atomic Heart, Wu Long,
yeah,
Hi-Fi Rush.
yep,
I mean,
yep,
it's just been kicking out like amazing
yep.
games.
What's the other one? Is it Age of Empires 2?
The
Is it
definitive.
it yeah, that came out to great reviews. It's, you know, I mean, look,
Uh,
$15 a month for Ultimate,
I like
$10
my
for regular.
Vikings.
Yeah, well, I mean, I still love my physical copies, because I'm searching around, for a physical copy of Metroid Prime. Shout out to Nintendo. Shout out to you, Nintendo, for dropping Metroid Prime for the
True.
Switch.
That's another
Oh
thing
my
that happened
goodness.
that
Yeah.
I kind of forgot about within this
Sony,
weird
where are
span of
you?
us being bums.
Gone. Yeah. Nintendo just said, hey, we know you like Metroid. We
Yeah,
know you
beautiful
want
Prime
Prime 4.
remaster.
Who, man, Prime, that is a beautiful remaster. That is a gorgeous remaster. Shout out to is it Rare? I think Rare did it. I think Rare
No,
went
it's
in. No, it's not Rare. Whoever did it,
something
congrats.
I can't remember offhand.
Okay. But congrats to you guys for bringing out Metroid Prime. The controls are solid. The graphics are beautiful. It runs at a full clean 60 FPS. Come on. You can't be mad. And on a Switch, mind you. That is
I will
something.
I will say though, to be fair, the original did too, but I
I know.
digress.
Mhm.
And it was on, what was it on? Prime was
Oh,
on the
GameCube.
GameCube.
Yeah.
Came on
Yeah.
the GameCube, then they rehashed it for the Wii. And this game has been
Yeah, you had the
rehashed a
trilogy for
couple
the
of
Wii.
times. Yeah, a couple of times. Oh, and another big shout out to Nintendo, even though I'm gonna boo you for this. Thank you for finally putting Game Boy and Game Boy Advance games on Switch Online. Thank y'all for that. But to hell with y'all for making me have to pay the extra $30 to play those Game Boy Advance games. We gonna have it out,
What?
Nintendo. We gonna fight.
Boy, and to make you sad about that too is if I'm not mistaken, this week or it's beginning of next week.
Uh huh.
You have Metroid. What is that? Is that
Fusion?
Fusion? Yeah, on the
Yeah.
Game Boy Advance
Fusion
coming
hits
to
on the
it.
Game Boy Advance, which is why I'm like,
So,
oh man, I might have to kick the extra $30 to my online account because Fusion, while linear, was gorgeous.
that game was
It was
beautiful and
gorgeous.
awesome.
It's
Oh
thirty
yeah, that
dollars a
game was
month, or
awesome.
just a one time.
No, it's $50 a year, I believe.
And you get access
Correct.
to all the
Yeah,
If
Nintendo
you do it
to
with
games.
the
get access to
expansion
all of it.
pass.
Right. If you do
Well,
the expansion pass, if you don't, then it's just the $20 a year.
They also give you, if you're an Animal Crossing player, they give you the expansion pass for that.
Right.
If you're a
The
Splatoon player,
Genesis.
they give you that. And if you're,
Mm-hmm.
I think Mario Kart, you get the extra tracks added with it too,
Yeah.
if I'm not
Yeah, for
mistaken.
Mario Kart 8. Yeah.
And then
They give
also,
you a
like you
lot.
were saying, Sega Genesis titles,
Yep.
N64,
4
Game Boy
titles.
Advance.
Mm-hmm.
hmm.
They give you some good titles, man. Like it's a bang for your buck. I'm just like, God damn, it's Game Boy. It's Game Boy Advance. Because the Game Boy is on the regular Switch Online,
Correct.
Nintendo Online. But if you want to go advance and move into 16-bit handheld,
If you want to be
um,
playing with superpower,
superpower, you have to pay the extra 30. So I think I'm gonna kick in the extra 30 and jump on it because all they gotta say is, hey, you like Metroid Zero Mission? Well, that's on there too. And I'll be like, all right, we're good. You Nintendo, come on in for the hug. You have given me everything I wanted with Metroid. So, but that's Nintendo. They're doing the right things. Xbox is doing the right things. Sony,
well,
kinda. I mean, once you put that Spider-Man thing out, I'll be like, okay, you guys are doing it right. Because let's be honest here, they don't have a major AAA title other than Spider-Man right now that's really pushing people to go like, I want to play this, what's big for 2023 for Sony. I could be wrong here, but I think it's just Spider-Man 2
I think so.
because everything else is third party. Street Fighter 6 is Capcom,
I don't know, fan.
Final Fantasy 16
you know.
to Square. Yeah.
Oh, Final Fantasy, that's Square.
Yeah.
You know, what's coming out of like Sony Santa Monica Studios or Sucker Punch? Haven't heard from Sucker Punch gave us Ghost of Tsushima. I'll be honest with you. I would love to see another Infamous title. I'm wondering about Infamous. Where's that? Where's that franchise going? Because Second Son and First Light, that was the last two things. But well, if you know, put it in the comments because I would love to know. Naughty Dog. Well, everybody's loving the Last of Us television show, but Naughty Dog hasn't announced anything big coming.
They gotta be
Um,
part 3. Gotta be.
Last of Us 3.
Yeah.
Because Uncharted is supposedly done, but there's rumors that they may be working on another Uncharted. Guerrilla Games are pretty much hardcore into Horizon, the Horizon franchise. So I don't know what
You have
else.
the what is that, Call of the Mountain PSVR title coming out.
Yeah, I don't care. I don't give a damn about VR. I'm not going to pay $550 for a VR helmet. Not happening. It's just not happening. That's just me. As I said, I'm a broke blurred. I know what I want and how I'm gonna play it. I'm not dealing with that mess. No, you can keep that, Sony. Have fun. If I want to flail, I'll just no, I'm good. I'll go work out and look silly. I'm okay. At least I know I'm doing something right. But with all that being said, we have to talk about the gigantic elephant in said
About
room.
Xbox failing, Chris.
Miserably. Damn
Tom Howard.
Microsoft. Well, yeah, Todd
Todd Howard, yeah.
Chris is not happy, so we might as well just go into it. The big game, Starfield, delayed again, but there is a but, and hopefully, it's a good one. It's a nice, healthy but, one you can just spank and make it run along because it's been pushed again to September 6th. 9/6/23. So we were supposed to supposedly get it June, correct?
First half.
That was the first
Yeah.
half of 2023, which would end in June. That didn't happen, but we are going to get a developers direct just for Starfield on June 11th. But the trailer gave us the date of September 6th, 2023. Now, many are upset. I get it. I totally get it. I'm actually okay with that. And I'll tell you why later, because I want Chris to have the floor on this. Because him and Phil are good buddies. They go to Xbox Island, once every 2 months, maybe sometimes every week, if the party is hard. But
Hang out,
Chris,
rocking
what you
deep
put?
V's, wind blowing.
Yeah, just doing the do. I know you are highly upset though, and it's okay to be upset because just like a lot of folks, people were thinking, "Yo, we're gonna get Redfall and Starfield, two of Bethesda's two big titles, two AAA titles, all in the first 6 months of 2023," and that's what Microsoft promised. Xbox got on and said, "Hey, these games are being pushed back, but they both will be out in the first half of 2023."
Within the next 12
Sadly,
months. Yeah.
one will be in the next 12 months because that was in June of last year
Right.
when they
E3.
brought it up. But sadly, no, just 2 months later, well, 3 months later from said date of June. And I'm okay with that. But Chris, you have the floor. Tear Phil a new one.
So I'm old school. So like back in the day of Blizzard would always be working on games, but they would never give you a release date. So I was always cool. It's like when it's done, it's done. They're gonna eventually when they're gonna announce a release date when it's ready to go, and they're gonna stick to that. Something Bethesda has not learned is like if you still have over a year worth of work left on the game, do not put things happen. You cannot put a release date on that, and that is my problem. I'm glad if it needs to be polished, great. I'm glad it's delayed, but if you're gonna string people along with release dates, that just pisses everybody off. And that's the thing. Like they did it twice already. So do we believe in a third time? I mean, a month before September, they could be like, "Oh wait, we're going to stick to the 11/11/24 now." I was like, "Come on!" I mean, Xbox did the same thing with Halo. They said Halo's coming out this year, and then they like, "Oh, it's a 1 year delay." It's like, okay, now you're starting to become liars, or you can't trust them anymore. So I'm starting to get hype fatigue. So I'm just at the point where it's like, when it's out, it's out. I don't care. There's other stuff to play now. I'm not going to fight. I used to go like every week, check YouTube, Starfield news, blah, blah, blah. Now I'm just like, you know what? Whatever.
I'm loving that you're banging on the desk like you are highly. I had enough, Phil.
Don't put release dates on things that are not done. Right. That's the dumbest thing ever, and it's become a trend lately.
Well, that's happened before. Because remember, I don't know if y'all remember, when Mortal Kombat was coming to console for the first time, we all remember Mortal Monday, right? What was it, 9/9? Or was it 9/11? I can't remember. I know it was September 9th of something. It wasn't 1999. It was like
999 was the Dreamcast. Yeah.
999 was a Dreamcast. But Mortal Monday was a September of something. I think it was September 9th or 11th. I can't remember.
I cheated. I looked it up. September 13th, 93.
93. There we go. The crazy thing was the game was supposed to come out like earlier in the year. But as usual, Boone and Tobias had told who was it, Midway that put it out, or it wasn't NetherRealm.
Acclaim back in the day.
It was Acclaim. They had to fight with the publishers because the publishers wanted it out earlier. They wanted it out like in February, March, and they were like, "No, this game is not going to be finished. The conversion is not going to be ready. It's going to blow up, kind of, sort of." So they were able to fight, but something had came through, if I remember correctly. They had the date where Babbage's and all the video game stores had set for March. And they were like, "Yeah, it's coming out March of this year. And people were hyped. And then all of a sudden, here comes the most famous trailer or the most famous commercial. Mortal Kombat, you know, that shit kicked in, and then all of a sudden the date kicks in, Mortal Monday, September 11th, and people were like, the fuck? We didn't have the internet to like go off and go crazy. But I
Right.
do remember going to Babbage's in Acadiana Mall, and there were a lot of hot, heated people. You know, like, "Huh, I thought it was coming out this month. I have my money. I paid, blah, 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 blah." And it was like,
Yeah.
dude, it happens. This is what happens with games. You know, there were a few games, and it wasn't just Microsoft. Sony was bad for that during the PS3 and early PS4 run, where they were saying this game's coming out right now, this date, and it never showed up. Oh, we had to delay it. Oh, this happened. Uncharted 4 had problems with that, where it was supposed to come out this day, and they said, okay, this is the set day. All right, send it out to marketing. Boom. Oh, we having problems. We're having problems
Right.
with the water physics.
You got to
water
anticipate
physics.
that before you put dates on things.
Right. And you're correct. Whatchamacallit's great for that. Blizzard, hey, when's Diablo 4 coming? When it's finished.
Right.
You know, now it's June 6th.
Not anymore. They
Not
used
anymore.
to do that kind of stuff. I was going to say.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it
Now,
could,
being that it's all part of Activision, it's just like, nah, hard
yeah,
release
that's the
dates.
problem.
Yeah,
Activision.
get it out.
So
Yeah, get
it
it
could
out.
have been a bigger shit show if they would have started taking pre-orders for Starfield. Then you would have probably seen
Exactly.
a lot of anger.
Oh, yeah. And I think that was the beauty of it, because even when they had the 11/11/22 date, there was no pre-orders
Right.
welcome. You know, I wasn't getting ready to throw money at it. I know you were, because I said, well, somewhere down the line, I'm going to jump into Starfield. I got way too many games to play and finish. But now, looking at the video that Bethesda put out, I have faith in it. It looks great.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a great
really
game.
looks gorgeous.
So,
You know, go ahead.
for like Cyberpunk should have totally been delayed. But they stuck to the
yeah.
release date. I mean, and then like a year later, the game is actually really good. I mean, it just needed another year.
Yeah.
It's
Right.
just like, so if Starfield would have came out on 11/11/22, it'd probably been like the new Fallout 76 or Cyberpunk, which I understand that the delay was needed. They should never put a release date on there to begin with.
I feel you. And so the question is, was it on Todd's end or was it on Phil's end? Did Phil say, hey, 11/11 is gonna, it needs to happen? Or did Todd say, hey, we'll be finished for 11/11? And he dropped the date.
I think Phil's like, hey, we really need a blockbuster first half of 2023 because, I mean, we ain't got nothing in the first half, no AAA coming out.
Right.
I mean, do what you can. And Todd's like, okay, we'll try to have it out. He's like, we're having a little bit of problems. It'll be out the first half. We'll get it out the first half like you want. And I think they both look back at it and it's like, look, this thing still has some bugs in it, man. We want this thing to be, this is going to be our new Starship, and it's going to be our new system seller. We got to have it absolutely perfect. So, I mean, if you need more time, take it. And I think that's what happened. It's like, we can push it out and then patch it later. And he's like, no, we want this out the gate. We want it to be good. So just do what you got to do. Right. But I think Phil really wanted a AAA first half. I mean, they have Redfall, but I mean, Starfield's everybody's looking for Starfield.
And Starfield's the most talked about.
Right.
Out of all the stuff that's coming. We know Forza's going to look amazing. We know Forza's going to come to play because Forza's never dropped it's never dropped a horrible game. Name me a bad Forza. You can't. Right. Not even Horizon. They've all been rated well and gamers love it. So Starfield is a new IP. If you're banking on this, you want Bethesda, not Bugthesda.
Yeah.
You want, hey, the bugs in Skyrim were fun. They were cute. But they were also game killers.
Some of them, yeah.
Especially when you try to save and you lose stuff. You don't want this with Starfield. You don't want it. I would love to see a cow just standing there and then just shoot off into space. And when you're in your ship, you just see the cow passing by. It's a great bug.
When the giant would knock you to outer space.
Yeah. So, that's how you launch into space. Is a giant from Skyrim just hits you. Boom.
So who's probably celebrating is the other studios of Xbox, especially I would think the people from Hellblade too. because they were probably
Yeah,
being touted to be like, hey, you could be our second half AAA game. But now that Starfield's coming out the second half, they might be like, hey, if y'all need more time, just come in to the first half of 2024. And they're probably
yeah.
like, oh, great. It's good for us. We don't have
Well,
to carry the Xbox for the second half.
yeah. Well, they Ninja Theory, they're going back to the old school. They're dropping their developer diaries, and they just dropped the first one for Hellblade, I think maybe a week or two ago, and it was wonderful because they were talking about how we created the topography of the game,
Uh,
how the mountains and stuff, and how we're doing ground effects and things of that nature. So I'm like, okay, if they started doing that, then this game is in full swing. We're about to go into polish mode.
and anybody that
You
hasn't
know,
played part one with headphones, you have to play with headphones. If you go back and
yes,
play pro with headphones, it is a trippy experience.
because I
Kind
think
of
that's one of the first games that utilize 3D audio. I
right.
believe, right?
The
Because
headphones
it,
pretty
it
much
was,
act as like the voices in their head. Is what it is.
yeah.
It's weird because
I love that game,
and they're conflicting. They'll
but
be like, "Hey, go do this," and the other voices will be like, "No, don't do
no,
this,"
go
and the other,
here.
yeah. So it's like
Right.
it's so trippy.
Where are you running? We're supposed to be here. And
Yeah.
I'm like, shut up. I'm going here. And then I die. And I'm like, okay, voices were right.
Sometimes they're right.
Um,
Sometimes they troll you, and
yeah. Sometimes they make you go right into danger. And then it's like, oh, okay, well, damn, do I need medication and therapy for this? But it's such a great game, but I can wait. I can wait for Hellblade 2. Starfield, okay, September 6th, 2023. Knock on
cross
glass,
fingers.
wood, cross fingers. Here's when I know it's right. June 11th, because that's E3, that's the week of E3. Microsoft is having their big thing, and then we get the Starfield situation right after. All I need to hear is either Todd or Phil go, pre-orders are available now.
Or we pushed it up to
That tells
July.
me, dude, if they shadow drop on June 11th, hey, we were just messing with you. That trailer was great. Watch people lose their minds. Hi-Fi Rush be damned, because now people want a shadow drop for every
Yeah,
company.
we're spoiled.
We're spoiled now. Microsoft did it. Nintendo did it. Sony's like, no, you're not worthy.
You should see
You're gonna wait.
the European YouTubers react when they release the date as 9/6/23. They're like,
Yeah,
yes, June 9th, because the dates are in Europe, the dates are flipped.
right. Oh, so they thought, they were getting the June 9th. No, you're
No,
not. Sit back and relax,
it's
kids.
delayed.
No, you have to wait. And I remember folks were losing it with Spider-Man 2 because that commercial that Sony did, which I thought was pretty cool, with Spider-Man and Miles swinging through New York, and at the bottom it said dropping spring 2023, and people were like, "Wait, what? Spidey 2 is coming out in April? What, in May? I'm ready. I'll be web swinging." And then they were like, "No, that's in Australia. Spring for them is fall for us."
Yeah.
And they were like, "Oh no!" And then
So Spider-Man
and
2
then the
going to be
sound.
multiplayer? Off
No,
topic.
no,
With two people swinging
no.
together?
It would be dope if it was, but I doubt it. I think they
Co-op
said it's a
cooking?
100%. I don't think we're getting a co-op Spidey. I don't think that's going to happen. I think we're going to switch between Miles and Peter. I think we're going to be Peter a whole lot more than Miles. I hope we get Peter infected by the symbiote and, have a little fun with that, where the move set is different. The way he fights is different. It's a lot more brutal. You're more of a tank. And then we get the blessings of going against Venom. But I don't know, until we see something from Insomniac, which that's the one thing I give Sony. Sony is not pushing Insomniac to do anything Insomniac doesn't want to do. Insomniac is calling the shots. Hey, we'll do it on this day. Hey, we'll drop something here. We're going to run. We're calling the shots now. That's perfect. And I think Microsoft is doing the same. I think Microsoft is letting their developers, hey, when it's ready, let us know. And I think
Right.
that's what Phil's going to have to do. Step back, even though you run all of Microsoft Game Studios, step back and say, hey, when it's ready, it's when it's dropping. But we need a date. We still going to have a date,
Right.
but you better be
A
at least
timeline. Yeah.
95 to 100% ready to drop this thing. Because
Right.
when we call this date, that game better be out in stores
Yeah.
or on Game Pass.
I don't think they're
You
gonna
know,
allow that again, to have a date and miss a
no,
date.
no,
That's
they
two.
can't.
That's two flagship games right back to back that have done that.
Hmm.
So I mean, third strike, you're out.
Yeah, and we don't want them to be out because honestly, Microsoft, well, Xbox is a viable gaming company. They can be that. You know, right now, you got the world talking about this acquisition. You got them talking about Starfield. You got them talking about Redfall. You got them talking about Forza. It's time to put up. It's time to put it out there. We need to make sure that, look, I have both systems. So fanboy, I am not. I'm just a fan of video games. And that's not no humble brag. That's not a brag. I just have all three systems, to be honest. I have a Switch, I have a Series X, and a PS5. It has to come to a point where I can be like, oh man, no matter where I go, I'm playing great games regardless. Regardless. You know, I want Replace. I hope Replace comes out in the summer. I'm gonna jump on Redfall. I'm actually gonna download Forza. I am going to play Starfield. I am going to do it. And if those games are so damn great, I am going to kick the $70 because wow, here's another way I'm gonna show support. You know, that's it. That's all. That's all I'm looking for. And I got a strong feeling when E3 hits, Gear 6 is going to be announced. It's going to be one of the biggest duh moments,
Right.
but I think we're going to get a trailer. And I have a strong feeling there's going to be a date for it. And it's going to be 2024. I think Gears starts 2024 for them, which gives Hellblade enough time to maybe be the summer game, the big summer game, or the big fall game of 2024 for
Yeah.
them.
We still got Avowed and Fable and State of
Yeah.
Decay and Perfect Dark and
Yep.
Man, yeah.
And we still don't know what's the other group? The Initiative? That was the big
Perfect Dark. Yeah.
that was Perfect Dark. Okay,
Yeah.
so yeah. The coalition is gonna be Gears. I would love to see because we know this sale is gonna happen. This sale is going to happen. I don't care about Call of Duty. I really don't. I don't give two good shits
Sony
about
doesn't either.
COD. Yeah, Sony really doesn't. Yeah, Jim Ryan, you dumbass. Why would you go and open your mouth? Why would you go and tell the person who works at Activision, "Oh, I don't need a new Call of Duty deal. I just want to block the deal." Why would you open your mouth? That's arrogance. And I hope they use that against him so badly that they just go, "You know what? Fuck the concessions. He doesn't want to work with it because he's being a selfish twat."
Lion
You
Ryan.
guys have the sale. Crying Ryan. Now you look like a full idiot. All you had to do was tell that woman, look, we want good competition and we feel Microsoft is going to screw you guys over and screw the gaming industry. Keep the same story, you damn idiot. I think it's because he's freaking Australian. I don't know. Like, your brain was not working. Why would you even dummy? But anyway.
But I digress.
But I digress. I just want to see good games come out. I've been looking, y'all, everybody knows I'm a huge pixel gamer. I love that old school 2D art. I want The Last Faith. I can't wait for that. I would love to see Bushiden. I don't even know when that game's ever gonna come out. That thing hit its Kickstarter goal and it's still making money for it to be made. So I'm hoping for that. Replace.
Yeah.
I would love to see old boy come back from obscurity and finish The Last Night. That was supposed to come out for the Xbox One. Y'all remember that?
Yeah.
I want to see that game.
think so.
I really
got
want
Dead
to
Cells.
see that game. Dead Cells,
Castlevania one, whatever.
Yeah, that looks cool. But I think is that on Xbox? Because I know Sony's been pushing it
I don't know.
for the PS5. They've been pushing it. Oh, and Nintendo, the Switch has been pushing it because that's Castlevania is one of the
Yeah.
main old school NES games. So I don't know. We'll see.
I think Dead Cells is
know,
on everything.
Yeah, and Dead Cells is hilariously
Dead Cells
fun.
is
Like I
awesome.
love that game.
That's the Dead
I
Cells
love it.
Castlevania edition, right, or something like that.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, it's like DLC for it and everything.
Okay.
Where
Okay.
Konami kind of getting the blessing, like, hey,
Go for
you
it.
can use all this stuff.
And the music and
So
everything. Revamp it, remix it, have fun. But yeah, let's keep our fingers crossed. 9/6/2023. We all get blessed with Bethesda's next big title, which is Starfield. And hopefully it's everything we want and more.
And I still feel
because it looks gorgeous.
there's a gap between there and Christmas, like a big gap. That I feel like
Yeah.
something might be announced between there or after there, in that gap.
Yeah. Because right now, I think the biggest thing that came out this week was Halo Season 3.
Yeah.
There's a new season of multiplayer stuff, and people are loving it.
I'm playing
Great
Halo
reviews
right
on it,
now.
maps. Yeah. It's in multiplayer is solid as hell, man. I wish I could get back into multiplayer like I used to, but again, I get tired of hearing people trying to have forced sex with my mom and mom's vagina, and y'all keep calling me the N-word.
Hey, man,
I don't
that's,
mind.
I don't even hear people
that's
when I
what
play.
that mute is for, dog.
Yeah, I don't hear anybody when
Yeah,
I
I know
play.
the mute is there. Yeah, but I really like to hear people talk in good competition. Like you call me an asshole, an SOB, an MF, or whatever. Noob. Love that. That brings back great memories. But teabag me. Not me personally. If you shoot me and blow me up or whatever, teabag the carcass. I'm cool with that. But I get tired of hearing the same whack racist, sexist bullshit. It's boring. It's boring to me.
It's kind of
come with some
down
respect.
since I would say, because now that you can report people
Okay.
and stuff like that.
Yeah. Okay, so it's kind of I might get back into it. Well, Sea of Thieves, I play with y'all when I can, and I love that. But I might get back into the Halo madness sooner or later because it's sitting on my system. I just haven't played it. I just haven't really got into it.
Off topic.
So
Halo campaign makes me wonder if that's what kind of the Redfall is going to be like, kind of just an open world FPS, because they finally did co-op now.
Oh, okay, cool. So the promise that should have been there since day one is finally there.
Yeah, co-op campaign is now a thing.
Okay. Well, here's one more thing, and then we go to the next topic. What do you do with 343 Industries? Where do you
start
put
fresh? Start a new project.
So,
what do they want to do?
I heard something. Yeah, because I heard something somewhat interesting. We all know that Microsoft has made the 10-year deals with Valve, Nvidia, and Nintendo, and told Nintendo that you will be getting Call of Duty on the Switch. And I heard something really interesting on Xbox. What is the podcast? Unlocked, which is IGN's Xbox
Ryan McCaffrey
thingamabob. Yeah, Ryan McCaffrey. I love listening to him. He is you. Like, y'all are twins. Y'all are twin brothers from different mothers. But he said, wouldn't it be something if, and I don't know if it was him, but it might have been a guess, that Microsoft would tell 343, hey, you guys are going to take a break from Halo. We want you to work on Call of Duty for the Switch. We want you to get multiplayer as well as a fairly good. No, you can't say fairly good because then they'll say, well, you lessen the product for the Switch. But a strong, amazing campaign on the Switch. We want you to do that. That's what we want you to work on for now. Halo, we'll kind of step back a little bit, let Halo breathe, kind of have a break, and then we'll come back stronger next time. But we want you to work on Call of Duty. I think that might be pretty cool.
Yeah, I think they just need a break. Might work.
They need a break. They need a break from Halo.
Like Playground games. Playground makes all the Forza games. Now they're working on Fable.
Yeah. Now that's another game we may be shocked. we might have some gameplay, fingers crossed, for E3. I would
Okay.
love to see that game in action. I want to see what they do. Love the trailer, but would actually like to see what this game is all about. So we shall see. But before we head out, we went see Ant-Man. I wanted to get just a quick review of Ant-Man and Wasp, Quantumania. I know we were supposed to record it separately and have our own movie review. We haven't done a movie review together in ages, but let's do it in the show. I want to hear what y'all thought about it and answer this question. Are we at the... No, scratch it. Has Marvel finally hit the wall? That's the question I want you to answer after your review. Have they hit the wall? Is there anywhere they can go, or have they hit the ceiling and there's nowhere else to go with Marvel, with the MCU? So we'll start off with Dave. Dave, what were your thoughts on Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania?
It was okay. It could have been so much more. It really could have.
Mm-hmm.
And it ended up being not Ant-Man and the Wasp. It ended up being Janet and the Ant-Man and maybe some other people, and I don't know. No one cares. And God damn it could have been so much more.
Yeah. Okay.
Kang was there. He was the shit. Every time he was on screen, the dude was like, I'm the shit, you know. like the command respect kind of like, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But God damn it could have been so much more.
Yeah.
That's all I'm going to keep saying. It could have been so much more. I just shake my head.
Yeah. Okay. So,
and also Janet Van Dyne, he's kind of a dick. There you go.
Actually,
I think that's what we'll call the episode. Janet Van Dyne.
Yeah, Janet Van Dyne, kind of a dick.
Kind of a dick. That is episode 24. Janet Van Dyne. Ellipse. Kind of a dick.
Look, Marvel, it was still fun, but like I said, could have been so much more. Could have been so much better.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. And damn you, Janet.
Okay, so has Marvel hit a wall? Have they hit their ceiling? Have they peaked and plateaued? Are they in the plateau stage now?
I don't know. I think they have kind of hit some sort of a wall, though. I will say that. Because, like I said, this could have been, especially since you're starting off the dynasty, you know, the man. I don't know, man. They hit something. They definitely hit something there. Because, like I said, it could have been so much more to kind of kick this off and start it off, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know. Frustrations in the head, man.
Gotcha. All right, Chris, what did you think of the movie?
For me, I put this in the same boat as Thor and Doctor Strange. All three of those movies are just like, could have been so much more. Like, it's just the same formula. Like, bad guy, kill bad guy, live, everything's good. So it's kind of like, it should have been Ant-Man and the Army of Ants, pretty much, is what it was at the very end.
Yeah.
I mean, I enjoyed it, had a good time, but nothing spectacular. I mean, I haven't really enjoyed a movie this phase except for Spider-Man. Spider-Man, I was like, it was great. But after that, it's just been like, man, that was okay.
Yeah.
So it's following the same formula that those other two movies did. It's just like, okay, when we're gonna move this phase, when we're gonna get the timeline or the focus going,
right?
Where are we going? Pretty much is what I'm thinking.
Yeah. Okay. So answering the question, do you think they've hit a wall, hit the ceiling? Are they in the plateau phase? Is it just
I think they spread themselves too thin right now with all the TV shows and everything. I just think they lost their focus. They're just trying to make the young Avengers with all these young characters that every single movie or series putting out. Like Thor has a daughter now; it's probably be a young Avenger. You got Hawkeye's the girl from Hawkeye is going to be on there. I mean, the new Black Widow is going to be, what's her name?
Yelena.
Yeah, the
Maybe
new
below
Miss
that.
Marvel. I mean, they all got like this young group that they're forming the Young Avengers, and then they have the Thunderbolts, and now they're gonna have the real Avengers, and it's just like I think they're losing focus because they're too spread too thin. So I
Yeah.
think it is kind of a wall right now because I think they're just spinning out of control right now.
Okay.
I
All right.
guess to add to that, I guess the only good thing is I think they've kind of sort of realized that because they definitely said, yeah, we're going to kind of scale back these shows and
Right.
whatnot to
Yeah.
make this more of an actual event, more important, more, focused and everything
Hmm.
versus just, oh man, we're pumping them out. Let's go, baby, kind of
Yeah.
thing.
Content.
And what's her name? Steve still
Okay.
was supposed to have a show too. The deaf girl from Hawkeye. What's her name?
Echo.
It's supposed to be
Echo.
the
It's still
Echoes.
happening.
Yeah, it's supposed to be the first.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, they're still gonna have that too. So it's kind of like, where does that play a part in
Right.
everything?
Well, I think Echo is going to be more of the street level stuff with
Yeah,
Daredevil,
and Agatha and
where
all
it's
that stuff.
not going to, yeah, it's not going to connect to the bigger scale. It's just like, hey, this is going on, and they can have that.
They can
You
have
know
it,
what I'm saying? They
but
can
then they
have
bring in
the,
like they bring in big characters from the movie, so it confuses people. Like, wait a minute, is this separate or is this
right. Well, and we'll see with Echo because I think from last rumored, we already know Daredevil's in it, Kingpin's in it. Supposedly, Kate Bishop is going to have an appearance on it because she was in Echo, and I'm okay with that. Because that continues what we saw in Hawkeye, and then it's going to grow into its own thing. And then when you get Daredevil Born Again, now it looks like Daredevil's going to be the centerpiece of the ground level heroes, which I am happy with, and you'll get a more street level show. This just in, and it's not just in, but John Barenthal's coming back as the Punisher.
Yep.
He signed up, so oh my goodness, we are going to get, and I'm hoping we get some R-rated Punisher again, but something where the story is strong and it's good and it's on its own. And there may be a little bit of sprinkling of what's going on in the MCU, but it's not going to be, well, we got to connect the Punisher to Kang Dynasty. There's no way you can. It doesn't make sense, but you can connect the Punisher to Born Again, probably the Punisher with Echo, the Punisher with Hawkeye. You can have fun in those spaces. Kristen Ritter's coming back as Jessica Jones. Bring back
Mm-hmm.
Mike Coulter. That's all I'm asking. I need Luke Cage. If you're going to do it, do it. Iron Fist, not so much. We got Shang-Chi. We're good. We're good. But for me, Iron Man and Wasp, it was a filler movie. It really was. It was a filler.
which is like all the
It could have been. Well, I thought Ant-Man 2 was strong. I thought the first Ant-Man was fun as hell.
Yeah, I love the first one.
I love the first two. This one I enjoyed, but I didn't love it as much. Like I said, it's a filler. The stakes weren't high. It was a time. It was a heist, but at the same time, you kind of went, okay, cool, great, yay. Where was Wasp?
Which it's weird too, because the stakes weren't high, but yet they were supposed to be high because we have the man.
Exactly, and that was the thing. Jonathan Majors as Kang, holy crap! As the exiled one, wow, he had it. He was on point. The only thing is, it was like, yep, kill him. We knew there were going to be multiple.
Yeah, they just kind of was like,
we knew it. Yeah, it was like, hey,
but he was supposed to be like the one. Though,
yeah, he was.
That's
supposed
what made
to
me
violence. I wanted to Obi-Wan Kenobi that.
You were the chosen one.
You were the chosen one.
You're gonna start the ball rolling. Let's go. Let's do this.
Right. I thought the use of MODOK was a letdown. I didn't care about the graphic side of it. It was funny seeing little MODOK butt, little MODOK ass. That was hilarious. But they could have did a lot more with him. And you know what? It is what it is. They decide to do it as a throwaway character. All right, we got it. We're done. Throw it away. Would have loved to see more of the Wasp. And if not, put Janet in the suit. Because Janet was handling business. Like, she really drove the story. And I thought it was cool. But, okay, fine. The mid-credit scene, straight out the comic books, loved it. Still kind of goofy hearing him hooting and hollering, but that's
Yeah,
what
that
it
was a little
was. You had,
goofy as hell, but
yeah, it was goofy as
whatever.
hell, but you had different kings from, you're not gonna, all the kings were never serious. You had
Like,
some that were barbarians, and then there was some who were lunatics.
I was still
You know,
fine, 100% fine seeing the Council of Kings.
yes,
100% fine with it.
and I would have loved if they really would have went, from page to screen, where the exile one, and yes, spoilers, didn't die. That when he was pulled in, he was yanked into the time stream by Immortus, who was the blue one. That's the blue one. And you have that moment where he's in the dark and they're saying failure, failure. And you hear, those three voices of Immortus. I think the other one was Silver Centurion. I could be wrong. And Ramatut, where they're chastising him. And he goes, I'm a failure. By whose authority? Who are you to judge? And it's not, who are we? And then you just see, drum, 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 drum. And the lights kick up, and there are all the kings pointing at him and just yelling, failure, failure, and it would be like, yo, it's about to get real.
I would have accepted that a lot more than just the whoop whoop. The
Whoop,
supposed
whoop,
big bad one is just whoop-a-doo out the door.
Killed by
like
Ant-Man.
if Kang is, well, in all honesty, killed by ants, but beaten by ants. I would have liked for it to have more seriousness. I would have loved to have Scott and Hope stuck in the quantum realm.
Yeah.
And I know people will say, oh, not this again. He was stuck, blah, blah, blah. But the stakes have to be high. If we know Kang is truly dangerous. This man clowned Thanos in the comics.
Yeah.
He is the god of time. So, and I call him a god, but yeah, he is the master of time. Show it. Truly show it. Show some people being etched out of the time stream to be forgotten. Not just snap where they still remembered. To be forgotten, easily erased. Make it known that this cat is not to be effed with. And you will see why. That's my thing on it. To answer the question, my own question, right now, yes, I do agree. They are spread wafer thin, like really thin. And I think it happened all last year. I think, and I'm gonna use this term, they blew their load last year because it was, not say it was heavy. It was kind of heavy. It was a lot. So yeah, I think they did. Am I turning my back on Marvel? Hell no. I ain't turning my back on DC, and look how horrible that's been. Look how horrible DC's been. But I still watch DC stuff.
I think it's just Disney. I think Disney's like, give us content. We need content for the stream.
And they have to come up with stuff.
I think also too now when they switch back to old Bob Iger there, that's when we got the like, okay, dogs, we got to chill out because
pump your brakes because the money. Yeah, you guys made us good money, but you're not going to be spending right willy nilly. But I will say this before we start to shut this down. There was an interview with one of the VFX guys, and I'm understanding, but I'm like, you ain't got to throw them under the bus because y'all failed in the VFX department. But they kind of blame Black Panther Wakanda Forever as the reason why Ant-Man and Wasp visually wasn't as stunning as it should be.
Yeah, supposedly supposedly a bunch of like VFX artists and whoever were pulled off of that to
go work on Wakanda. Right.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, but the fact that they were like, yeah, well, because of Chadwick's death, and I'm like, nope, death ain't got nothing to do with it. And what folks fail to see, even She-Hulk made the joke about it. You remember when she was talking to Kevin, the computer, and they were like, hey, why don't you turn back into a regular person because it costs. And then they didn't show her turning back to Jen. They just cut to it and they said, well, yeah, the VFX guys are working on something else. And they played the Black Panther music. And she's like, oh, okay, that's understandable. So it was a joke, but now it's a reality, and it was kind of effed up for the person to like say, well, it's because of Chadwick Boseman dying. But no, Wakanda
Yeah,
Forever
I say
was
not
a
even
big
because of
piece.
that. Because this
Yeah,
was, I mean, look, this was in the works still, and yeah, I mean, what? How do you, that doesn't even make sense. Anyway, yeah,
yeah.
whatever. That doesn't make
But
sense.
I'm hoping for the best. We have Guardians 3, which looks to be a tearjerker for the third and final film, James Gunn's swan song. Now that he's moved on to DC, the Marvels have been pushed back from July to November, so that's cool. That gives us a breather.
We still have
Loki,
Loki,
Loki's coming, which I think is going to be in June,
which
maybe
back
May,
going
June.
shifting back to Ant-Man again. We saw the very very small, part of Loki at the very end when we saw Victor Timely Kang.
Right.
Then you said
Yep,
Agatha's
and that
indefinite,
should be fun.
indefinitely.
Yeah, Agnes is indefinitely on hold. Um, Echo and all of that was coming out, I believe, next year anyway. That was the 2024-2025 slate. So we're not even, I'm not too concerned about that. But
Yeah, it's stuff that's not even in the radar just yet.
yeah, there's just background. So hopefully, Marvel will get back on its feet, get back to what they did in phase 1, 2, and 3. Like I said, I'm not looking for the big grandiose, but when you're gonna bring it, bring it. You know, make sure that villain is it's on point and ready to go and knock some heroes on their butts. And you want the heroes to triumphantly win, but at the same time, there's gonna be a cost. The cost has to remain and it has to stay. So
Same thing with
fingers
the
crossed that
Ant-Man
all
trailer.
comes.
Because when everybody saw the trailer, it was like, oh, Ant-Man's going to die or somebody's going to die.
Yeah.
Well,
And it's
man,
like, nope,
King's going to die.
no, nope. King's gonna bite the bullet. Well,
Just
one
our
of them.
boy. Yeah,
They took
one
the
of our
boy
boys.
out. So we'll see. We shall see. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're off to our last segment, the segment everybody loves because that signals the end.
Yeah, you heard it. Ah!
Yeah, my nephew's ecstatic. Finish this mess.
Finally, yeah.
So finally, everybody wants to know. They constantly ask the question, what are you playing? What are you watching? What are you reading? So we all know Chris is not reading. So Chris, what are you playing? What are you watching?
Watching Last of Us. That should be finishing up. I think
Mhm.
episode 9 is the season finale.
Yeah.
Mandalorian just started again, so you can start
Mando.
watching that. As far as playing, I'm playing Halo Infinite. I never did beat it the first time around, so I'm going back and playing.
Okay.
It's actually a really fun game. I don't know why I quit playing it, but I think something else had come out.
Yeah.
And then I'm playing a game
Okay.
called Merge and
Nice.
Blade, which is kind of like a Tetris meets Vampire Survivors type thing. So it's kind of weird, but it's a fun game.
Merging Blade.
I think it's on
Okay.
Game Pass. That's how I found it. Because I find all these little indie gems on Game Pass that I would have normally never played, but there's a lot of good ones that they put on there. So, yeah, that's it.
Nice. Nice. All right, Dave, what you got?
So nothing reading really right now because I'm just started new work. Finally recouping the funds, so I can get back
Gotcha.
into stuff. But
Money's coming. The money's coming.
yeah, the money's finally coming back in. It's rolling in. Yeah, sure. Anyway, as far as watching, I'm not going to name everything, but we'll throw out a few that are, Vinland Saga, amazing. Anyone who hasn't watched Vinland Saga, if you're an anime person, there you go, watch it. Vikings,
Yeah.
existentialism, there you go.
Okay.
Let's see,
Let's check it out.
Mandalorian next week. Next week we have Ted Lasso coming back, so
Yes.
see some
Football is life.
Football is life, remember? As far as games, though, I don't stray too much from the usual Overwatch League stuff like that, but have been playing Theater Rhythm Final Fantasy, getting my
Okay.
my rhythm game music on,
Gotcha.
and that's about it right now.
Okay. Well, hey man, you doing the Lord's work and having fun
Yeah.
doing it. So at you're. As for me, what am I watching? Honestly, just finished watching the new Luther film with Idris Elba. Luther, the Fallen Son. Amazing, brilliant. Andy Serkis plays psychos beautifully because he has a serial killer's face.
He
Okay,
kind of does.
he
Let's be real.
does. Like if you see him in a
No, no
mugshot, you
offense,
go,
guy. You know, for some
"No, great
crazy reason,
actor."
you see this.
Yeah, great actor. You're a great actor, sir. You deserve your flowers. But if you were ever to get in trouble for killing somebody or doing some serial killing, you have the face for it. The mugshot would make sense. But that's on Netflix right now. Awesome. Makes me want more episodes or another movie with Luther. Make it happen. Give Idris Elba the money. Let him do his magic and I will watch it. I've been watching Last of Us, one of the best video game adaptations I've seen, and I love Sonic. Yay. Uh, whole lot of other shows I've been watching, but I did not know this was coming back. But Attack on Titan hit last week.
Yep.
An hour-long episode. This is chapter 75 of the final season that they finally said it is done, it is finished with. All I'm gonna say is what y'all did to Lil Ramsey. Look at me. Look at me, people who created Attack on Titan and animated this shit. Mappa, you did this. What y'all did to that poor little brown child, that wasn't called for. I didn't need to see that. I didn't need to see that little boy. Whatever happened to that little boy happened. That he was so cute with his face. He was cute. And what y'all did to that boy was ungoddamn called for. All right, I've said my rant. So I've been watching that. I don't think it's coming back until the fall. So the vision of Ramsey is gonna be in my head until fall when they're gonna finally finish it. Um, a bunch of shows I can't remember off top, but I'm watching a really good documentary on Bill Russell, the legend, the GOAT. I will fight anyone who tries to refute that. But as for that, as for playing, I've been playing Atomic Heart. I'm really enjoying it. It's a very horny game. Very, very horny game. It's I mean, you get molested
Robots.
by a
Ooh.
vending machine. That's all I can say. It's good. It's not great. It's good. It's funny. I'm enjoying playing that. Hi-Fi Rush I finished. Um, as for other games, Metroid Prime on the Switch. I want the physical copy, but I went digital. It's gorgeous. It's gorgeous. That's all I'm gonna say. For what I'm reading, went to the Comic-Con yesterday. It's still going. Should be over in a couple of hours. Picked up this new here comic, number one, Mosley, number one, written by local artist and writer Rob Guillory. Gorgeous
Nice.
art by Sam Lotfi. Dude, love the story so far. I'm gonna have to go and search for issue 2. He didn't have any, so I'm gonna have to do my Googles and my searches and get it. And also from the mind of one Rodney Barnes, Blackula, Return of the King. Bruh, look, we chuckle, we laugh, but let me tell you, Blackula Return of the King, it so far is so awesome. It is a direct sequel, continuation from the 1973 movie, starring the
Nice.
late great William Marshall, that many of you will probably only remember as the King of Cartoons on Pee Wee's Playhouse. But I remember him for being Dracula's soul brother. Blackula, go figure. But the art in here by Jason, let me see, Jason Sean Alexander. Let me hurry up and pop it open. Let me show you. Let me show you. Hold on.
Give you a quick little taste.
Little taste. Look at this. Look at this shit. Look at the fear in this man's eyes as this beautiful black vampire woman just bites the living hell out of him. And I bet he got a hard on too. I seriously think he got hard getting bit. Oh my lord! I never thought I'd like it.
Have
But,
mercy.
I wouldn't stake.
It's a graphic novel. It's it's a graphic novel. I highly recommend you pick that up. I highly recommend you pick up Mosley. Shout out to Rodney Barnes. Shout out to Rob Guillory. Shout out to Cody Chamberlain for that amazing original art piece that I bought from him. Great work. Love him for it. And that's it. That's it, and that's all. We're ending it here. I have some other things to do. They're going to eat lunch, and we hope you enjoyed the episode, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure before you go, hit that red subscribe button. If this is your first time watching, thanks. But if you haven't subscribed, but you're still watching, hit the subscribe button. It'll only take a second. Leave us a blue thumbs, because blue thumbs are cool and it helps with the algorithm. So every time you hit like and you leave YouTube and come back, our pretty faces will be on your front page. And look at us handsome men. Look at us handsome geeks. You want that. You need that. And also, that bell, hit it and turn your notifications to all. So when a new episode drops, hopefully consistently, we have some consistency, fingers crossed, you will be notified and you can watch and enjoy. Make sure you leave comments, because we will definitely read them on the next episodes. And yeah, that's it. That's all. So for the amazing David Welty, the highly amazing, yet still upset at you, Todd Howard.
I'm over it.
For not dropping Starfield. Oh, you're over it now? Sure you are. Mr. Christopher McNabb, I am Anthony Sterling. And in parting, we say, stay geeky.